our next two messages in the book of Revelation, we're going to call the Phantom Menace, part 1 and 2. And we're going to talk about the beasts of chapter 13 in the book of Daniel. And it's important. There are two beasts there, not just one beast. There's two beasts there. And those two beasts are going to wield a lot of influence in terms of how the enemy, and again, remember, we're talking about spiritual warfare. We're talking about more cosmic movements, more geopolitical movements and things of that sort. And so these beasts are going to be important in terms of how the enemy is going to seek to take it out on us because he can't get to the Lamb. And I think that's really important. And it was really important for the first century audience. It's really important for you and I. So I want to ask you to read chapter 13 this week, to read it either today or tomorrow, chapter 13 of the book of Revelation. That I don't mean to go bankrupt, but although curious in terms of how that correlates with that. But I want to say that in this, read Daniel chapter 7 and read Revelation 13, and then you'll begin to get some idea of the movements that John and the symbols, what the symbols actually mean that John is talking about, especially for the first section 1 through 10. That's what we'll be covering this Sunday. I want to ask that you would read and that you would be prepared so that when we come into our study in this on Sunday, that you've got an idea. It's just not fresh, like, oh gosh, that's the first time I've ever heard that. If you do that, I think you'll get a lot more out of the message. You read ahead, you do a little bit of homework, and it actually will make the message a lot more poignant to you. Now, it also might make it so that you, and I'm not saying read somebody else's commentary, don't read what Dr. David Jeremiah or what some other person said about it. I just want to ask you to read Revelation yourself. Read Revelation 13 and read Daniel chapter 7. Those two things are intrinsically tied together. And I think that then we'll get some idea of the movements of how the evil one is, how the dragon is seeking to manipulate us and to manipulate cultures and to manipulate nations and different kind of things like that. And I think it's quite insightful. So I'm looking forward to getting into that with you this week, but I want to ask you simply to read ahead.